It's native tomato season, and we've went and seen our friends at Lopresti Farms in Preston, Connecticut, picked some beautiful tomatoes, and today we're going to show you how to preserve them. So just to get set up, we have our tomatoes, which we're going to wash. We have some fresh basil in the background there that we're going to add later on. There's the rest of our tomatoes. We're going to jar them. We're going to need a food mill to process them before we put them in our jars. I'll show you that. And we have our pots on our stove, and we can boil the tomatoes. So this is pretty much the setup that you'll need, and we'll go from here. Okay, we're washing our tomatoes, but I wanted to show you something. Don't worry about the way the tomatoes look. If they have some marks on them, or if they look split, or whatever, because we can use all of these. They're not rotten. They may have some splits in them. We're going to cut all of that out when we put them in the pot. So I just wanted to let you know that if you're going and you're picking some tomatoes at the farm, don't be afraid. These are tomatoes for sauce, okay? They're not for show. Okay, we're going to just cut the tomatoes now and put them into our pot. Just take a look at how beautiful these tomatoes are. And I'm going to show you how to cut them. Don't worry about what the tomatoes look like again. Okay, these tomatoes are all, for the sauce here. What you're going to do is cut them open. Just cut out the little piece there. All right, easy. But look at how beautiful these tomatoes are. And the smell of these tomatoes is incredible. I wish there was a way that modern technology had to bring the smell of these tomatoes into your kitchen, because this is gorgeous and they smell unbelievable. So I've taken one of the pots, I've put it on the stove, and here the tomatoes are. It's only the tomatoes, no salt, no anything. We want the tomatoes to boil, and we want to get rid of the water that's in the tomatoes, because we want the sauce to become nice and thick. This will boil for several hours. Here's our product. It's boiling now. Every once in a while you want to give it a nice little stir. See all that water in there? We're going to get rid of all of that. I'll show you how to do that shortly. And boy, again, I wish you could smell how delicious this smell is. It's unbelievable. We'll let that continue to boil. And we have 3 pots going. Yeah. We'll be back in a little while. Okay, our tomatoes are thickened up nicely. And what we're going to do is we're going to go right from the pan. We're going to bring it right into our strainer. This is the most tedious part, but it'll go pretty quick. Once we fill up our strainer, now there's looks to be a lot of liquid in here, but that's okay, because once we strain this, the pulp is going to thicken up, and then this is the product that we're going to use to make our different sauces with. And you also get a good arm workout in while you're doing this. You don't have to go to the gym. There we go. Take a peek here. This is what the tomato sauce looks like once we put it through the strainer. Now it's still very liquidy, and that's fine, because you're going to boil this down even further and add this to make your sauces, and the water content in there will dissipate once you have it on the stove. But objectively, we want to get all of the tomato. Okay, so I've strained some of this just so I can show everyone what a nice, beautiful, thick sauce that we have here. And this will be our base for all of our other sauces going forward. And now we're going to jar this once we finish. Just want to show you folks, this kit comes with 3 different size strainers. And you can see large, medium, and the one we have in there is the smallest one. So what I did was, just to show everyone, using the larger one, this is what it looks like. You can see in there, it looks thicker, but you have the seeds in there. And with the smallest one that we used in there, you can see the size of the holes. This is what it looks like. So this is the one we're going to use because we don't want any seeds in there. And this will still boil down. It looks thinner, but it will boil down and become thick once we make the sauce. But I just wanted to show everyone the difference between the various size strainers, so you know which one to use. And you can experiment. But we're going to use the smallest one so that our sauce comes out without any seeds in it. And then we'll boil it down to make it a little bit thicker. I just wanted to show everyone, every once in a while, what you have to do is you have to clean out your strainer. In this particular model, it has a spring down in here which keeps the blade coming up as you keep grinding down. And then to take it out, you can just push down on this here. This top piece comes off. And you can see in there, this is all of the pulp, okay? And that's what we're gonna discard. It's all the seeds and the pulp. Similar down here, we're going to clean this out every so often so that way we can continue. And that's all the seeds and the discarded pulp. Okay, we're done straining all of it, and we strained it all into the pans, and we're just going to let this continue to boil. And as it boils, it's going to get rid of, evaporate some of the water that's still in there. And so we've gone from 4 pans down to one big size pan here and a little smaller pan. But what we're also going to do now is we're going to add some salt. I particularly like sea salt, and I'm just happen to be using this one. And remember, you can always add more salt. You can't take salt away, so you have to taste it as it boils down and see if it's to your liking. And add a little bit more salt if necessary. And when we come back, we're going to show you what the finished product looks like and how to jar it so you can have it all winter long. Okay, we're almost at the end here. We've let this cool a little bit, but it's still warm, and we're just going to literally look at how beautiful this has come out. Look at how nice and thick it's turned out to be. And we've washed and sanitized all of our mason jars here, and we're going to fill them right up. And then we're going to add some beautiful basil, and we're going to seal them up. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do this here. We're just going to ladle it out. And we're going to film. We're going to fill them almost to the top. Right about there. I picked some fresh basil from a basil plant outside, and we're going to cut this up. We're going to wash it, we're going to cut it up, and we're going to add some basil to each of our tomato jars as we fill them up. Okay, we filled up all of our jars. We have our fresh basil. We're going to add a little bit of basil to each one of these. I'm going to push our basil in a little bit here just to get it into the sauce, down into the jar. Great. Okay, we've cleaned all of our, we've boiled all of our caps and tops. We're going to put each of them on here. And like I said, this sauce is still hot here, and it's going to continue to cook a little in here, and it's also going to seal up each of the jars. And there we're going to take our tops. I'm not going to screw them on all the way. We're just going to put them on for a moment just to make sure we get them. Then we're going to tighten all of them up nice and tight. Okay, so now we have to sock down these caps, and we're going to hang on to the jars. And I'm going to show you two ways. So I'm just going to tighten them. This one really tight, like this. And then we're going to do another one. We have this little tool here that came with our kit. It's your hand strength. And well, that'll tighten it up. Tighten it up nice. So there you have it, folks. Here's our jarred tomato sauce. It's ready to go. This will last us a long time, and we're going to share it with all our friends and family. Once again, a special thank you to our friends out at Lopresti Farms in Preston, Connecticut. And support your local farmers. Go out there, pick some tomatoes. You make a fun day of it. You come back, you make yourself some wonderful sauce, and then you can use this sauce for all of your tomato sauces, whether it's a pizzaiolo or if it's a bolognese. It's ready to go. Thank you very much. Be sure to subscribe. Once again, thank you for watching.